By sunset, we had hit the gas, and the mercurial reaction of the vegetation gave me a clue that Hadejia, our destination, was a stone's throw ahead. Its royal welcome inscripted on the entrance gate of the emirate. The old city view, where one of its iconic roundabout, was wonderful. One of its wonders, however, lie by a roadside Sunday trading spot. Here is what traders in smoked frog refer to as the biggest smoked frog market in Nigeria.
You may pass this market for a fish market, but this is not a fish market. It's a particular market in Hadejia that deals in the catching, processing of frogs for sale here.
It may be an exaggeration though, but the kind of people this Sunday market brings makes it reach far beyond the confines of Jigawa State, where Hadejia is located. Here are men and women who broke boundaries to come to this small but mighty market, buying an ingredient that is sought after by their customers.
I'm from Kogi State. Yeah, I'm from local government.
Okay, so you normally come here every Sunday to buy?
Every Sunday I'm here.
So
I'll be one of the Delali for here. So they used to bring kaya for us. When the frog go to bush, they bring the frog come, we sell it for them, come out our own ladder, then give them their money.
We come here to buy frog and to supply some things like yam and gari and alibo. That's what we from Benue come to supply here.
So when you are going back?
I'm going back today.
So in any time you are going back, what do you buy?
Anytime I'm going back, I buy frog to go back.
Okay. And you load it
on the truck.
For a first timer like me, this delicacy is enticing. But I ended up swallowing my saliva. The taste could be out of this world. Its price also going the rocket's way. Depending on the size, a stick can go from 2,500 to 3,500, with a bale hitting the 750,000 roof.
We said there are three types for the goods. There is big, there is small, there is a medium size again. Like this one is the big one here. So we do sell 2,500, 2,000 per stick. Then the small one we sell 700, 800. Then the medium one we can sell it at the rate of 1,000 again. Yeah.
So, but how much it be?
Sometimes it go better, sometimes it don't go better.
Depending on the week?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on how the goods enter inside markets.
Trucks in queue to be loaded with the delicacy alongside fish and other produce. This market is now a money spinner to buyers and sellers, with more than 3,500 people making a living along the chains of activities accruing from trapping, processing, and selling smoked frog.
Tell us about this market.
And this market actually has been existing for a long time, and which we have been encountering so much challenges in the marketing, at least, which we managed to adhere with some, and which some things we can't even tackle ourselves.
Like what and what?
Yes, because we only run the activities once in a week, which we have no specified land for us to exhibit the market, which we want the government to aid us with a land which we are going to at least get, so that we run the activities daily, not weekly, at least, which we have to take advantage of that daily transaction than weekly transaction. That's what we want the government to aid us for. That's number one. And actually see how the environment is. We are just running the business like a roadside business, which we have to be having a specified location, which we at least get to run the business with confidence, so that the people who we run with, they came from different various states. Some from Ebonyi State, Benue State, Kwara State, and some other states, I believe. So that's the people who come here. We run the activities together with them, and we that we live in the community here, at least we manage to attach, which we can't even recognize ourselves. At least we do it, and we know this business is a very large business, which the business at least have some branches across the country, even outside the country also, because we also deals with people, the hunters that do bring the stock for us. Most of them hunt their own frogs from Niger and neighboring countries around Nigeria, which at least through that we can call it an international business. If the government is going to aid us, we know the business is going to boost more than this. And the exploitation of the stock will go from here down to different countries. One, China, because we know and we believe China people use frog, and which we are just the only Nigerians that do make the transaction, end it in same Nigeria, because we have no exposure on the business.
This market is moving well as we do, but we have some failures inside the market. We don't have market site, and this market is supposed to be doing daily, but we are doing weekly, every Sunday. And we always preach to the chairman of the local government to give us a site, so that we may get shops or temporary room like that, so that if in terms of sun, our people will hide themselves. In terms of rain, we still keep our goods. But up till now, the government didn't comply. But we are still pleading to them. If they wouldn't mind, they should help us to get our main permanent site, so that the market will progress more than this.
Two men are said to have started the market, with one of them telling us the story behind it.
Ko wani gwamna da muka yi a nan Jigawa ana ce mishi Saminu Turaki, shine ya kawo muna wannan idea din.
There was a governor of Jigawa State. His name is Saminu Turaki. He is the one that brought this idea for us. He opened World Trade Fair Market at Migatari. After opening the market, I was one of the staff of the Ministry of Agriculture and the Fisheries Department who were deployed there at the international market. So he began to import frogs, and we were responsible for their welfare. After a while, it is exported. After his tenure, we have people hunting for frogs and processing. So I asked the person hunting the frog where he sells his catch, and he told me he takes them to Kano. So I said, what if we get a market in Hadejia? He said, that would be great. It means the market is now close to them. So we began to plan on how to create a market in Hadejia. With that in mind, I began to consult more of the frog hunters and one woman named Beauty, who comes to buy fish in the fish market, once asked if we knew where she can also be buying frogs. I said, I have suppliers. I went back to the hunters I know, struck a deal with them, and they brought the frogs, and the woman bought all 300 naira per stick. She insisted that the hunters continue to supply her, and they kept supplying. From that point, our market started growing. Now we are 11 years.
So da ta zo sai ta ce a nan ba a samun kwado ne sai nake ce mata akwai tana so sai ta ce eh tana so.
Now a brag is generated between the frog and fish sellers, each claiming to own the highest share of the markets.
Yanzu mu a kasar Hadejia ma ba inda ake samun kasuwa ke tafiya tun 6 by 10 mun gama.
In the whole of Hadejia, there is no market that can stand shoulder to shoulder with our market. We start 6 a.m. and by 10 we're done. We are ahead of all markets because we had gotten the necessary support we deserve to excel. We have customers from all over Nigeria, even across the borders.
Market is just like a one-man market. You can't compare it with our market, the fish market. As I talk with you, loading of fish into trucks are going on to different parts of the country.
Arguments between the sellers of fish and frog still continue, but the most important thing is the fact that both fish and frog has the potential for export, and it is very important for each of those that process fish and frog for markets like this to be sensitized in order to understand how the packaging and export of this product plays out there.
Hadejia is also a hub to the trade in fish, and its market is also big with variety of fish from the rivers within and those across the border. Sincerely speaking, there are fishes that are caught here in our waters in Jigawa and Kano states. Because we have rivers suitable for fishing all year round, we also have fish that are imported from neighboring countries, like from Niger. If all of those in the value chain get the right training in processing and packaging of both fish and frog, the international arena is wide open.
Do you have maybe aspiration, like hope, that one day your members will be exporting this product to China because there's a big market there?
And we have that hope, and we had everything that China used to eat frog more than us. But we don't have any background to export these goods.
But once I can recall, there was a time which the National Orientation Agencies, that's NOAA, invited us for a training in the local government secretariat, which we attended. And from then till date, we have no any feedback. So that's why we are pleading to the government, at least, to see into the business and see how we are going to move it far. Because once you look around and see the population, we are mixed up. We are not only the indigenes that run the activities. We run it with different people and different languages, and which I believe we speak almost one language here. That's the business language.
I decided not to leave Hadejia without a visit to one of the ponds where the catches are made.
In Yamudi village, we found one of the ponds where villagers here normally put nets into the waters here and trap the frogs, especially in the evening. And what they do next is that they move it down to their homes and then smoke them.
Sai da wani abu ne kaman fatsa da zare da wani abu kaman dan kugiya. To sai ke kama kwadan.
They use a hook tied to a rope at the edge. They hang a bait, then throw into the water. The bait attracts the frog, and when it goes the bait, it gets hooked. This is how the hunters catch the frogs. And during their boom time, they fill sacks in a day.
To jin zafin an kama shi din wani sai ya bude bakin sa sai saki wannan kota. To shi kuma dama akwai wani buhu su fa a ƙasa inda suke tara shi.
Hadejia Jama'ar River Basin Development Authority manages all the waters where the fishes and frogs are sourced.
The Kano River Irrigation Project that stretch around Kura, Garumalang, Bonkuri covers around 16,500 hectares of land, providing employment opportunities for over 3 million people. I mean, from land clearing, planting, cultivation, harvesting, processing, marketing, and all the petty jobs that are related to production and processing and marketing. So, looking at this number of both direct and indirect employment, you realize that the dam and the irrigation project associated with the dam has really transformed the life of the people around, economically, socially, health-wise, because it has been recently proved that the people around Kura, Garumalan, Bonkuri, and the surrounding villages happen to be the wealthiest in Kano State, and also there is very minimal outbreak of diseases. Because they consume fresh vegetables, they are always healthy. So the number of cases reported in the hospitals are very minimal when compared to the rest of the state. And because of the number of employment generated, you find out that the number of people migrating from the rural to urban areas is also very minimal.
On my way back, I met a rare congregation of the kings of the desert. A pool of water took their attention, and I watched as each group made their way after filling their reservoirs.